There we go. Check it out. So talk to me, people. If you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others out by clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. Because when you do that, you again can help build with me and grow with me so we can make it better tomorrow, today. Tonight, what we're going to do, first, I'm going to find me a good, yeah, it'd be a good, some good music to carry us through. Yeah, that's kind of weak. Uh, Let me see if that's good. I like that. What y'all think? Ooh, ooh. Let's move. All right, tonight we talking about perseverance. Now, it's interesting that you now it's perseverance because I was just thinking of topic. Not tonight's topic is the heroes updates. What happened? Now I don't have anything specific. You know, I could talk about several things. I talked to my sister earlier. And she said I said, "Hey, give me some. What's on the news? What's current?" And she told me Eli and Trump. Ah, uh, uh, too heavy, too in depth, and Dr. D have not did research, and I don't want to tell you the truth. I just don't want to talk about it. You told me honest, I just don't want to talk about it. But we will talk about perseverance. All right, let me get that. Perseverance. Let's see. Let's first start with baseline. Perseverance. Do 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 do. Baseline perseverance. Perseverance is the act. Perseverance is act of continuing to try to achieve something despite obstacles, difficulties, or discouragement. It can also mean, let me blow this thing up. Yeah, it can also mean, what can it also mean? Let's see what Google has to say. I don't even like this. Come on now. All right. Oh, I'm gonna read this for you. Okay, my sound's still up. People complaining. How? What did I get? Uh, yeah, I see something right here. It says, let's go through it. As individuals, we all have inspirations. I'm reading this from, let me see, Paul Gravatt, contributor. Perseverance is the most powerful tool. All right. As individuals, we all have aspirations, hopes, and dreams. Making those dreams a reality takes one key ingredient: perseverance. Perseverance is defined as the act of being steadfast. In other words, it takes determination and strength to be truly successful. You must set your sights on your goal and zero in on what it will take to get there. The ability to persevere will empower you in ways you can't even imagine. All right. Can't fall short right in the middle of it. All right. The ability to persevere will empower you in ways you can't even imagine. Perseverance will make it possible to hold fast and strive to make sure your goals are accomplished with this newfound empowerment. You will feel as though no obstacle, big or small, can come between you and your dream. The simple formula for the power of perseverance is a combination of five factors: awareness, desire, belief, action, and perseverance. Another way in which perseverance works is in shaping the mindset you have towards what you are trying to achieve. Do you believe it would be an easy ride or a difficult one? Wherever, wherever you believe will manifest. In order to utilize the power of perseverance, it is important to hold on the goals you wish to achieve for as long as you can so that you can have enough willpower and strength to succeed. Before the effects of perseverance can be manifested physically, some abstract factors such as your beliefs and perceptions are very important in the whole process. Without the right beliefs and enough perseverance, we may be unable to attain our full potential or realize our dreams. The things we deem miracles are actually strong beliefs combined with powerful perseverance. It is therefore left for each person to figure out what drives them or pushes them to get things done. Perseverance. I think that's eloquently stated by Paul Gravette. Power perseverance is the most powerful tool. Have you anybody ever you experienced things whereas we all have concepts of how we think life is supposed to be, how situations, how relationships, how jobs, how things, how even athletic prowess is supposed to be. You want to be the NBA star, you want to be the football, you want to play in the Super Bowl, you don't want to just watch it, you want to be on the gridiron. You want to be the lawyer. Um, you want to be the lawyer being first chair on cases instead of the research attendant. Or better yet, you want to be the judge in a courtroom who demands order, who demands respect. And when they walk, they demand you to rise and they can command you to be quiet just by their presence. That's however, people don't understand that in order to get to certain roles or certain positions, like the like what I said, it's a push. Uh, it's a perseverance is the most powerful tool, but it takes you to wanting it. It was something real good in here that was I think on the first paragraph it says perseverance is defined as the act of being steadfast. In other words, it takes determination and strength to be truly successful. You must set your sights on your goal and zero on what it takes to get there. But that's not what I was looking for. I was looking for this. The simple formula of the power of perseverance is a combination of five factors. They are awareness, desire, belief, action, and perseverance. The simple formula of the power of perseverance. You need perseverance to have the power. But you have determination, you have to have grit, you have to fortitude, you have to push through. Nothing's given. I like to think about this model, the model that I try to buy by, try to live by. And when you deal with situations in life, well, you all deal. Okay, let me put it this way: is either you're dealing with the situations in life, or the situations dealing with you. What do you learn from the situations in life, or do you live in perpetual state of regret? Are you lost in your thoughts, or are you focusing your thoughts on things that are good, that are pure, that's lovely? If is there any virtue in that thought, and if there is any virtue, do you think on those things, or do you let the thoughts run rampant in your head? I mean, in a society, the environment that we live in, we're so excuse me, it's so easy to get pulled in and distracted from your goal. You may have had a goal Monday, but it changed 5 times because you got distracted or delayed because of time. Like me, you may pick up the phone too much, and you may have too many conversations that distracted you from your goal. And then kind of tells you, it kind of makes you think about, are you really persevering through to that goal, or are you procrastinating to it, or are you using everything in their mama to actually be a deterrent from you obtaining what you said that you wanted? Um, hey Tito, all right, thank you, thank you. So there, this is the scripture that I try to go by, I try to abide by, I try to live by. I think I put it in my book, the book I wrote, um, Endangered Species: The Plight of African American Male Adolescents. I put in it, and I put in my dissertation. The race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to the one who perseveres to the end. And just because you're gifted does not mean you are guaranteed. It doesn't. So use that God given grit and purpose and drive and push toward where you're supposed to be. You know, we think because somebody told us we're supposed to be something. We think because we got the position. We think because it's nepotism. It may be a catalyst to help you get somewhere, but do you utilize it? Do you push beyond people's expectations? Do you go beyond yours? It's perseverance. Anybody can persevere when it's sunny outside, but can you persevere when it's -10? Anybody can persevere when they anybody. Yeah, I'm generalizing, but it's a great deal of people that can when they walk in their house and they're greeted with hugs and kisses and they're greeted with just warmth. Yeah, they can. They It doesn't take too much perseverance to want to run home. But suppose you come home and you're never greeted. Suppose you speak and nobody speaks back. Suppose you reach for a hug and you get rejected time and time again. Yet, this is supposed to be a home, a man's palace. This is supposed to be a home where you find peace. Can you persevere and still stay? Can you be steadfast and movable, always abounding? Or can you be deuces, ghost? Anybody can stay with us great. But if you run too quick, if you move too fast, you may be missing out on what God is trying to teach you in the middle of the pit. Suppose Joseph got out that pit that his brothers threw him in. I know he tried to. I know he tried to, but suppose he got out. And suppose when he got the keys to Potiphar's jail after he put him in there and put him over the prison. No, when he got put in Potiphar's jail, the head of the prison gave him the keys and put him over the jail. Suppose he said, "Man, I'm gone. I'm leaving this joint." 2 years. 2 years he waited. 2 years he waited for a response from the and one of the baker and the cook. The baker the two people in Pharaoh's a court. He waited 2 years, but still he was diligent and he did not buck. He had opportunities, but he persevered. Then he propelled to greatness, the second in command over all Egypt, and he was an Israelite. Did he persevere? Now, was it easy for his perseverance? No, I can't say it was. But did he relish in his gift in the middle of jail? Some people say the real question is, can you relish in your gift in the middle of hell? That's perseverance. Perseverance. Remember, race is not given to the swift or to the strong, but to the one who perseveres to the end. Can you push until it opens? And in the process of pushing, what lessons have you learned? What muscles have you built? Hmm. These are things that make you go, hmm. All right. Like I didn't do before. When I start off, I generally try to put a link in the comment section for those who want to give you 2 cents and get the metaphorical nickel back. All right, I'm gonna put a link section. Uh, 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 King of Zion, you the lion, bring Jesus reign in my life, Lord, be glorified today. Yeah, so I mean, perseverance. I mean, I can't tell you. You know, it's I can't say it's easy to get through it, but it's so easy. It's it's so easy to bail and run when things get rough. I need these glasses because I know what's getting rough right now. The puffs in my eyes. Oh, okay. Oh man, I got stains. Come on now, I need to get this up. Oh, I did not like that stain right there. All right, let's see here. I get some of this done. All right, I'll help that a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. All right. And so, okay, then this is here. I say here's a update of what's happening, and my what happened was about perseverance. And you see, let me move this a little bit. This is discussion, and I got to move my chair and Q and A. Discussion Q and A. All right, so let me see who. Let me see. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Ooh. But what do you have? I hear you. You on?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, but I can't.
I
I wonder
don't
why.
see you.
I
I
don't
don't.
see.
You don't see me.
You see me?
Yeah, I see you, but I see myself in my camera.
I know what happened. I think.
It's telling me I'm in the show. Um, okay, it's okay. I'm there now. You see me?
Yeah. Had to just. You when you look it up, is he coming to get you?
Huh? I was looking. Yeah, I looked up at my screen.
That's
I was
wrong.
reading and looking at my screen. I got two screens. I got a big screen and I got a small screen.
Are you ready for Super Bowl?
No, not really. It's coming though. I mean, it just makes it easy to get into a nice restaurant that afternoon
No,
because everybody will be at home watching it.
that's Father's Day.
What? Super
Father's
Bowl?
Day. Father's Day, you get any restaurant in the city.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because what we get socks and drawers, right?
Yeah, if that.
Uh,
Yeah, if that.
uh, yeah, I shortened up my name since Renee shortened his. I'm gonna shorten up mine. I'm just gonna go by T. I was starting to put Mister T, but I don't want to put on a bunch of gold chains trying to be, you know.
Yeah. So, let me see the names on. I think the name. No, he, he walking Sparky.
Is Sparky the dog or the cat?
No, it's a dog.
Okay. I was gonna say I never heard of somebody walking the cat, but I
I know. I got a friend. She walks up the cat. She puts a thing on him and she walks the cat.
like a leash, like you would put on a dog.
Yeah, it's funny.
Okay.
It's older cats. I guess she don't want the cat to get away.
Yeah.
Don't get. Yeah, she puts on TikTok. She walks the cat. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So what's your take on perseverance?
Well, I think it's what you're harder into is your persistency to pursue. It's like if it's something you, to me, my personal experience, if it's
Mhm.
something that I'm really into and I want to accomplish, I tend to have the perseverance to do it because it's going to be whatever it's going to take because I won't take no for an answer. Um, and if you want it bad enough, you're gonna you're gonna do what it takes. That's what it is to me. Um, do you have perseverance in everything in your life? I don't think so. Some of us might be like high strong and always want to do excellence, but that's more of a characteristic to me. But the perseverance come when it's a challenge. It's something that you want, but it challenges you, and it goes beyond that. Because I say it like this. Okay, military mindset. The way some people say brainwash. I use my wife term brainwash,
Okay.
especially a Marine. You get that defect zero mentality defect, and I'm quite sure you probably heard that before. And so it become one of them things where you feel like you can do any and everything. You cannot fail. You cannot make a mistake. All right. Okay. Thinking like that. That's why I say things. You have a spirit of excellence. You always want to do your best, but then it comes things that's very challenging to you. That's even uncomfortable when you go to achieve that and you have to go through them uncomfortable moments and stressing yourself to your beyond your limits and your mental capability, physical capability. I think that's what perseverance come out at. I think it's above and beyond the normal thing of um of living life. It's putting forth that extra. 100% is the standard. Then anything above that, to me, is when you start to
But
show
but tell
perseverance.
me this, why would you? I mean, they pay you 9 to 5. I mean, you get your check either way. I mean, I
Well,
mean,
see, but this is what I'm saying. 100% is the standard. See, that's a personal standard. It's always going to be 100%, no matter what it is. It's when you got to go above that 100% because as a, I feel like as a adult or responsible person that hold themselves accountable, you won't always give 100%. It's what you give above that. It's just like it's just like it's like being a husband. You should always give 100% of being a husband. You should always give 100% of being a father. The If you just hitting that 100%, truthfully, we just doing what we supposed to do. It's when we go above that. It's anything above that. I'm just using that as an
right.
example. It's when you go, like I said, 100% should be the standard. If I take a job and we agree upon a wage and benefits and things like that. Okay, I agreed upon that job and I wanted this amount of wages, right? So that's a standard. I have I'm trying to think of the term right now. A, a job description. That's the term I was trying
Okay.
to think of. Okay, you have a job description. Okay, you say, with my experience, with my knowledge, I want X amount of dollars, right? That you negotiate. Okay, they agree to pay you that X amount of dollars. All right, that job description that you agreed to get paid for is the standard, right?
Right.
If you want more and you want that next higher pay, and you got to do more. You can't do the standard and be like, well, hey, I want a $5 raise, or I want a whatever, I want $1.25, or $1, or whatever you feel like that you want to be, or I want to move. Now it's a management position. Maybe I didn't come in as a manager, and now it's a manager position, and I want that manager position. I need to show above what I was hired for my job description to show that, hey, I can do it. And to me, that's kind of like being persistent, showing the persevering that, hey, I'm willing to take the challenge, and I'm gonna show you that I can take this challenge. And no matter how hard it be, hey, maybe you got to take extra classes. Maybe you gotta maybe it's stuff that you may have to do that you don't want to do, but in order to achieve that goal, you do it. You go after it. If I need to take X class, I'm gonna take X class if that's gonna help me get promoted to the next position. But if I want to stay where I'm at, I'm not gonna have to. I'm not gonna be persistent on pursuing to better myself so I can be ready for the
Well, tell me
next
this:
level.
what would compel outside of work? What is the thing that compels you to do over 100%? Because you know,
Well,
well,
I use my going to boot camp, and I use this story a lot. I think because it was a turning point in my life. Okay, I remember I didn't fit the real profile as in physical physique. I was 125 when I went into boot camp. All right, I'm 5'9", 125. Hey, that ain't that big. The wind blow hard enough on my flip. That was then. Okay, I was told by a family friend that I wouldn't do it because their child was a Marine and he fit the muscular profile and athletic built at that time. And I was told, I was skinny, blah blah blah. That, hey, I don't think you won't. They didn't think I would be able to endure, but that was part of the motivation that kind of pushed me to do it because it was something in myself. It was a self drive, a self determination that, hey, I'm gonna get it done. Because what I realized, it wasn't all about your physical physique. It was about your mindset. It was about the heart. It was like, are you willing to fight for this achievement? And then it doesn't help when the drill instructors tell you, hey, it's only two ways off of this island because I went to Paris
hey,
Island. I'm on the East Coast. So they said the quickest two ways to get off this island is to graduate or die. You know what I mean? I I wasn't about to die. So the other choice to me was to graduate, to complete boot camp, to endure. And and I think that's one form of persevering because it's like a self drive. Something has to tell you, hey, I need this. I got to do this. And no matter how hard it is, because it is easier to give up. Being a young man fresh out of high school, You got people yelling at you. You're doing all this physical stuff. They break you down mentally, and being young, you're not really exposed to the world like that. These guys yelling in your face, got you doing all this crazy stuff, push up, sit up, blah, 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 and just a lot of like crazy stuff. And you got to learn this, got to remember that. It's easy to snap mentally. It's easy and to to endure and to make it through. And I think that's for anybody. I can only speak for Marine Corps boot camp, Marine Corps male boot camp, because that's why I was. I can't really speak for the other services. I can't speak for the females, but I can speak for I feel like I can speak for the male. Going through that, it's a mental challenge because you can be a A1 athlete,
Right.
but if you don't have that mindset, that mentality, that strong mind, that strong will, it's easy for you to break, and you can't do it. I seen guys twice my size. I seen guys that you look at them like, yeah, they'll make it before I would, but that wasn't the case because it was the heart, it was the mindset of saying, you know what, I'm gonna do this. My heart said, I'm gonna do this because I would not take failure for an answer, and that was before the Marine Corps. It was not accepted. It wasn't accepted in my household, and it just the Marine Corps just strengthened a lot of beliefs of my dad, my grandparents, my uncles. Just the men that was in my life, and it just strengthened that. And I thank God for the men that I had in my life because it helped me for when I did hit them roadblocks where nothing was given to me, everything was earned. You understand what I'm saying? So I think when it comes to perseverance, persistence and perseverance go hand in hand. It's a synonym pretty much. It's hand in hand. And I say if it's something that you don't want you really don't care about it, you're not serious about it. I don't think you be persistently trying to pursue it. I don't think you had a perseverance to stay in the game. It's like how you hear people, they might start one business, it fails, and then they start another one, and then eventually they make it. They might have went through 5 or 6 businesses, and, and 5 of them failed, but the sixth one it worked out. Uh, I think that's perseverance in there because if they always had the dream to be a successful, have their own business and be successful, I feel like, hey, they had to have perseverance to go through all of them failures because it's easy to just give up. Like, you know what? I give up. I'm gonna go work for somebody else and let them pay me. Other than me dictating my own future, how much I want to get paid, and things like that by me creating my own business, being able to negotiate my own contracts with customers and things like that, and being able to really, control how much I work and when I work. Them options open up when it's yours, and then you're able to hire people. Eventually, you're able to hire people where they are doing most of the legwork and you chilling. You just making sure, hey, that the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed.
Yeah. So you think what would you say? We know what pushes people to start, but what pushes people to persevere?
For myself, it's the fear of failure. I don't want to fail at anything I do. I if I'm I tell my wife if I'm a volunteer to do something, well, it's volunteer usually is free. If I'm doing it for free or if I'm doing it getting paid, I'm gonna put that same amount of energy in it. It's to me the fear of failure. Why would I agree to something? And I'm old school in code. a man's word, shake on a deal, and things like that. Why would I agree to do something and I do it part way, or I don't give it 100%?
Right.
That's, that go back to the way I was raised. I'm not gonna, whether you pay me or not. If I said I was gonna do it, that's what I'm gonna give you, and I'm gonna give you 100% of that.
Yeah. It it kind of it makes me reflect back to when I was a freshman in college. And my aspiration was to play college football.
Mm-hmm.
And and my older brother was always there. Was always he's always for me. He's kind of guiding me.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. My twin brother doesn't know. When he wrote me a letter,
Mm-hmm.
never thought he thought this way. He's like, "Can't wait to see you run the ball like Walter Payton and push on." Now we both 17 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and he wrote it, and he that meant a lot. Uh, not that well. You gonna mess up, or you ain't gonna make it. Now, understanding that the school I went to, St. Augustine at that time, did not have a football team. So my goal was to transfer to NC State,
Mm-hmm.
and so I started on a path, and my brother said, "Well, you'll make it." I mean, he just wrote a good letter, and I never forgot that he thought that he wouldn't say it in public, but he wrote it down, and it was yeah, it's like he said, yeah, you can do it, and I pushed not because he said it, because I that was my goal. I came across town, cross country, and didn't have anybody here. My brother's
Mm-hmm.
from Atlanta, but notice I didn't have aspirations to go into the league. Nah, I just wanted to play college ball, get the experience.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I feel you.
yeah. So he said, well, did I play off for? No, no. But I can always say I put on the blue and gold, got on the field. I can always say, not like Rudy, but yeah,
More like radio.
that
I was just joking
made
with
me that was good. That made me your question. I think I think you have more of the yeah, the appearance. You work in sound, don't
you. Yeah.
you? Just like radio.
Mm-hmm. Sound, video, all that lighting.
Yeah, he did that too. I do that again.
Yeah.
I
I-
and then
but
you do like this.
but but I do understand I do understand
Set
when
yourself
you
up for
say you didn't about the pro, because when I originally joined the Marine Corps, it wasn't about me retiring and making it a career. That wasn't it. I knew I had needed to do something. I was tired of high school. It wasn't dumb or anything. I was tired. I would have fell out of college. I'm not even going to tell a story,
that. Right,
because I wouldn't have took it serious.
right,
So that's what it was about for me. I had to do something, and I didn't want to be one of them people that say, they graduate high school, I'm gonna go to college next year, and 10 years
doing
down the
nothing.
road, you still
Working
talk
pig,
about going to college.
working piggy wiggly.
Yeah, yeah. And there's nothing wrong with working at there,
But that wasn't the goal.
Yeah, but you're right. That wasn't the
You
goal.
got a check,
I didn't.
a girl, check, hang out with your boys the weekend. Before you know it, time kept on moving.
Yeah.
Y'all had jokes about high school, 3 years from high school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh yeah. What got me is about maybe a year and a half, 2 years in. Going home. Some friends say, "Hey, let's go cruise the school parking," and I was like, "What?" It was the stupidest thing I ever heard. For me, because I'm like, high school. Why would I go cruise a high school parking lot? You know, I don't even think I was in 2 years, but it was just stupid because for me, I'm like, okay, I'm a young Marine. What I look like going to a high school looking for high school girls, even though
But
some of them
but
probably some of them was my age. You know what I
right,
mean? I was still pretty much a teenager. So it ain't. it ain't like it was up. But to me, the maturity level that was, you know, that just showed me part of the change. The maturity level wasn't had grew. I kind of feel like, especially for Marines, most of us, we can be silly and all that, but most of us, we grow up a little sooner because I think, and this might be all military men, we kind of grew up because it life hit us fast, and we kind of like thrown in positions, and you're responsible. You know you don't have mom and dad to hold your hand the whole way.
Right.
It's like it becomes sink or swim. You lucky if you got a good SWAT leader or a fire team leader that help you through what you're going through. People in your platoon and stuff like that. So you lucky on that aspect, but most of it, majority of the stuff is on you because some people have a good support system in the military and some people don't. It's You can have good commands, good leaders, bad leaders, so on and so forth. And and I think that's why I thought differently, only being in a year and a half, maybe two. I say two at the max when this conversation happened when I was at home on leave, and I was like, no, nope, because I wouldn't. Because if I was in the state where I was stationed at, I wouldn't go riding through no school parking lot, high school parking lot. To me that'd have been weird. I'd be like, somebody arrest that guy if I see a, a even though they're a young Marine, cruising through the parking lot.
But when you was in
they,
high school, did you see the people that just graduated? Was that the thing to do after you graduate?
yeah, yeah, that was. But I saw it differently when I left, and I did things differently. Not saying I was better, but I just saw it differently. That wasn't. It was like, okay, why would I go back? I'm not in school. What does it prove? How cool do I really look? Supposed to be a young adult, and I'm cruising to school, probably like, look at me, I'm in my car, y'all at school, you know. Yeah.
With the uniform on?
Well, if I was going to try to recruit, yeah,
But
but
girls or guys?
if I'm
Okay.
recruiting mean I'm trying to get somebody in the service, not looking for a date.
Okay.
And if it was a date, it would definitely be girls, not guys. I'm heterosexual, very hetero.
Now I'm glad that you feel the need to clarify that. I
Yeah, but with that, but it's I think it's a mindset. I think a lot of it just come down to what is your personal goals, and I think that sets up the perseverance for you because you're gonna drive. You're gonna drive towards that thing. A professional athlete, everybody don't make it to the pro. No matter what the sport is, you can be good. You can be one of the best persons at your particular school, at your particular university, but that next level can be totally different. Then you got some people that you was like, what? Who was that? I don't even remember them going to college. I ain't never heard this person's name, and they turn out to be some of your biggest stars
right.
and the professionals. So I think it becomes to the personal drive because you can have the talent, but if you ain't driven, you don't have that persevering. You're not persistently pursuing. You're not. You're not gonna make it.
Do you think that our generation or or the generation now have different perspectives? Who's more driven? You think, and why? The
Well,
new generation or our generation?
I would say our generation is more driven in the terms of independence. Because we was latchkey kids. We had to be a lot more independent, a little, a lot more independent at a younger age. But I think the younger generation got us beat as an intelligence, and I think they're more advanced.
Yeah, but
But at the same time, I don't think all of them get it. I believe a lot of them feel more privileged than anything. It's kind of like,
so,
and it might just be a generational thing. It might be our parents might look at us, when we was their age and be like, well, blah blah blah. You get what I'm saying?
yeah, but
It
you said more advanced. How are they more advanced?
I think intelligent wise because of technology.
But does that make
And
them smarter, or they just make them?
I think they have, well, I'm not going to say that it necessarily make them smarter. They have easier options. It'll be easier for them because for us, starting off in grade school, especially like preschool, we use like things like abacus, and then you start getting into the calculator, and you're doing your math longhand, and you're doing all of this stuff. You're doing it more manually. Now they rely on technology, and I think it might just go along with hmm, you got a point there, but I think it comes along with they're more tech savvy, I would say, and I think that's why I'm thinking more intelligent in that way. And because for us, computers and a lot of technology wasn't as accessible. It wasn't one of them things where like now you think of like having internet, Wi-Fi, or a computer. You think every home in America has that. But growing up for myself, I can speak for myself. The reality was the only time I really was on a computer was at school, and I think I got introduced to a computer. I want to say maybe middle school, high school. I know definitely in high
Was
school
it
we
Tandy?
had. So 5-inch five floppy drives. When you had to boot them
Yeah,
up, boot them down. You had to use DOS commands and things like that.
they're basic.
Uh,
Yeah,
yeah, so now I think with technology wise, I think they're smarter in that aspect. But old school grit wise and stuff like that, I think we got the advantage in that. Now some of them are, let me see, some of them can be a little gritty and have the G2 and thinking outside the tech world. But I think most of them, from my experience, is more on the tech side. Or it's like when you we can get so technical technologically advanced that we get dumb in other areas. I think about growing up. If you had your little black book, or if you didn't remember them phone numbers,
right.
you know what I mean? Now you say, how many phone numbers do you actually remember now? You don't. It's you might remember 4 or 5, you know, but at the but back in the day, you remember all of that. You had to, because if you didn't, you was in trouble. We have smartphones that has so much technology and so advanced that it's a lot of stuff we do not even think about. If we want to know some, I don't want to say the term because I got smart devices around me. Hey, what you call it or whatever. You know what I mean? Depending on your device, and and a lot of that would answer your question. But the grabbing, they have it a little. I feel like they have it a little easier because you got the internet. They can Google things or whatever to find out like a lot of stuff. Like you have YouTube. It's a lot of stuff that today that you can find out on YouTube that when we was growing up that you would know if you ain't grab an encyclopedia or something like that and did the research. you wouldn't have no idea. So I just think in that manner they got it better and they more advanced than us
Yeah,
in that manner.
and that man, I think that it's a better gun.
Hmm.
It's just not always directed correctly
Yeah,
because
I can.
knowledge is not wisdom.
Right, right, right,
Knowledge,
right, right,
wisdom is knowledge rightly applied. I think,
right. And see, and I think we got them on that because we had to apply what we.
but also I think the thing is that who's holding the gun? We're holding the
Mm-hmm,
gun. We just don't shoot. We just don't aim it correctly. I mean, holistically. Let's think about aggregate.
mm-hmm,
Generally, it's the ones before us that held the gun to direct us.
mm-hmm,
The God has given some type of temp, template to go with. You don't eat the meat, spit out the bones, but generally you follow that type of direction and you find your own way. Now, I can tell my son to get on the computer by to what this is what you need to look up for. This is what you need to look. This is what you need to find. You see, I think the person who holds the gun is the one who's it's the community, but more important is home. And
mm-hmm,
what you have now is a lot of kids that grow up and don't have proper home care because nobody's home to care for them. Um, you have too many parents who are who want to be their friend
yeah.
and not their parent, and it's easier because a kid may just despise you because you won't be their friend. You suppose you have the fathers really buddy up with the kids, then the mamas is straight face, and so they may hate their mama and love their daddy until they get older and realize,
Mm-hmm.
oh,
But,
I didn't need
but,
no buddy. I need somebody to tell me what I'm doing wrong. That's why I got 10 years
yeah,
to life.
I needed you to parent me, not
I need you to parent me, and
yeah.
they don't see it while they dealing with it. They don't see it. My my
Well,
go ahead.
I I would say that I think a lot of it falls on us
Hmm.
because it's some things we experienced as
Right.
kids that we didn't necessarily agree with. That we say, when I have my kids, I'm not gonna do this and that, and we kind of take that away. We certain things we don't do, and then some things you don't realize how important and what they really taught you and what they was really saying to you and showing you until you kind of like start walking in them shoes or you on your own. It's like I a lot of stuff my dad, especially from my teenage years, that I learned from my dad. I thought he was just being a butthead, but when no, I'm just being real. It's like, but when I became a husband, a father, a lot of stuff that he said and he was doing, it made a
Makes
lot
sense.
of sense, you know. And so I would say it be on us because some things we don't, always agree with. In some things, parents had good intent. I think even at us as parents, we have good intent. But our kids, on some of the stuff, our intent, they're gonna rebel. And then when they have their family, they have their kids, some stuff they're gonna be like, hey, I appreciate this, but that other part you showed me, I don't want nothing to do with. I'm a, I'm a,
Right.
I'm gonna change that. It's I can say it like this. It's like it's certain traditions that I have in my household that my parents don't do and my in-laws don't do, but that's certain things that me and my wife established because it's our house. We became one, and you got two people coming together and now we grew up in different households. Our parents had different belief, to a certain extent. So we're going to bring different things into that relationship, different things of viewpoints, different things of handling things. And oh man, Renee is here, and so it's not necessarily saying that our parents, but
What?
the ceiling, we get to see his roof or his wall or something. Look like he took it off. We spoke
Oh
too.
man. Jeez.
Yeah,
Sound
but
like
I
he went
think
back
it's a give and take.
sound like he went back to class. It went back to class.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
oh,
okay, we see his face. He in the dark. He want to show us his nose. He
space
look
go.
like he's sitting in his desk chair and he going side to side. You need some light, Renee.
You see that knife he got?
What? He got a knife. Oh, is he walking? I can't.
No. Just put your cup up there. Oh Lord. Oh wait.
The,
You said it.
talk about this cup.
Oh,
See, you got him getting emotional. See that?
Where your cup at, Renee?
Hmm?
Where your
Oh,
cup at?
you can just put
uh,
the cup up there.
downstairs in the kitchen.
That could be your
Downstairs.
avatar.
Yeah.
Take a picture and upload it. I don't know how to do it though.
Yeah.
They'll
You
definitely
got to set it.
sparky drinking out of it.
Mm. How you doing, Renee?
How you doing
Super,
that?
super wonderful. Got
Okay,
it.
good.
You know? How you doing?
Okay,
I'm doing well.
that's better. Okay.
Let's see.
Yeah. And do you have, Renee? Do you have RP? Do you do you do you have issues with perseverance? And if you do,
Perseverance.
how do you get over them?
Mm, hmm. He said perseverance. Let me
Yeah.
see. Uh, hmm. Well, I think perseverance.
Uh huh. Yeah.
Boy, them some steep stairs. I mean, man, you slip. I don't know
Man,
how you go down them stairs in the middle of the night.
very carefully.
Yeah.
I've been there 17 years.
Okay. So you know them like the back of your hand. You're
I'm an
man.
expert. Let
Yeah,
me
that
But
was
you show them where
steep.
the bodies are. That's what.
see. Let's see. Oh, ah,
Is that a shot glass? Oh, I got a coffee cup.
All
there it is.
All right.
right.
Okay. Oh, put it back on the shelf and shut the cupboards.
Why? You don't like my coverage?
Oh no,
Nah,
no.
I said you putting it back on the shelf and shutting the covers. I ain't say nothing about your covers. I was just saying you putting it back. You're supposed to have it for when we talking.
I wonder could you take a picture and upload it? I don't know.
You probably could. You
Let me
know.
get. Let me find the Hennessy bottle. Hold on. But no, about perseverance. So
It's,
yeah, you know what? Hmm. Yeah, I guess absolutely. Yeah, that's absolutely a thing. You know. Oh man, how do you persevere? Um, and then sometimes you fail, right? You
Right.
quit.
mhm.
If you quit and you ain't persevering.
Yeah, and that's not uncommon. You know.
Yeah.
You got to think about it. Abraham, man, Abraham was 100 years old
Still getting
when
it
he
in.
had Isaac.
Still getting it in.
Yeah, 100 years old. Sarah
And
was 90. That's
and they ain't have
perseverance.
Viagra either.
Nope. That's it. Um, he persevered. But here's the beauty of it. He lived to be 175 years old. So God in his great mercy, even though he waited a long time, he lived with Isaac almost as long as he lived without him, which I think is quite a blessing. So he waited a long time, but God gave him plenty of time to enjoy it. You know. So yeah, perseverance. Yeah, that can be. And here's the other thing too that we have to discuss or think. Sometimes you do need to quit. You know. Sometimes
Is it
a thing
quitting or is quitting
is
or is it pausing?
no. I think sometimes there's some things that come to an end.
Oh, that's not quitting. That's called
That,
completion.
no, I mean no. It may not finish. Like you may have a goal. Say, I want to climb the Himalayas, and you're persevering, you're training, and but there's also times in your life when the message and the information comes through that um, I need to let this go. So sometimes you don't always persevere with everything. I think that's why it's important to know God, know His will, know His assignment, so you know what is worth you giving your life to, because your life and your time is precious. You can never get it back. And when you're, as Pastor Joseph Prince would say, when you're climbing the ladder of success, make sure it's on the right building. So you don't want to give yourself something to something. And this happens to many people. They give themselves to something and they give it and they give just to realize that, like, what happened to King Solomon, it's all vanity. It's all meaningless. So I think it's important to know God, know his will, and know what he wants you to persevere through, and know when he wants you to walk away.
What is it? Wouldn't that be more? Wouldn't that be being not necessarily in tune to his will, but in tune to his voice? Because if if we if we generally stay prostrating like yes, 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 waiting for that ideal, that audible, um, for fear of making the error, isn't that contrary to us walking in faith? Or the alternative is walk in faith and be attuned to pivot when we hear his voice. Meaning that, like I was saying in our video, say embrace your passion because it's something planted in you that there's a desire to do. Now, the thing is desire is a desire for life or for a season. And you can assess the season by hearing his voice because there's a lesson in the season. Like Derek Prince says, try to choose the right building. But the truth of the matter is that since you started climbing up the wrong building, now you know how to climb.
But you still waste time.
No,
You don't
no,
need
no, no,
to.
no, I'm saying you don't waste time because you don't waste time. You've learned the lesson because the Bible says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not to your own understanding."
Mhm.
However, but faith without works is dead, being alone. You have to walk in faith, but still be in tune when God wants you to adjust. People think because the thing's not ideal, is wasted time, but could it just not be? Could it just be what's it called a delay, not a delay, but off ramp.
It could be that,
Yeah,
but sometimes
that's being
the
in tune. That's being in tune to what He says. But if you don't, but if you're scared to do anything, you won't ever live. I
yeah,
talk.
that's different. I'm saying, like Apostle Paul said, he
Mhm.
was going to go into Asia Minor. He said, and the Holy Spirit forbade me. See, now he could have pushed through. He has free will. He could have
Right,
went into Asia Minor, but he wouldn't have got the. So that's what I'm saying. I think not every go. Remember this.
not every.
Not every desire we have is from the Lord.
That's
Sometimes desire is put on us by society, by our family, by how we grow up. That's why I think it's important to have a purifying, well, not a purifying word for it, a relationship with God,
right.
to know what path is he saying is your path.
Well,
Because sometimes people go on paths and it's not the Lord. Even though they may learn something, but in the end, they'll find that the overall weight of what they've gained
right.
is,
I, I, di- I, I disagree to a extent. I think that it's less the path and more being attuned to what he says in the walk. Because we all, man, I want to be a superhero. That didn't happen. Underdog. I mean, that didn't happen. I mean, uh, went to school. I'm just being silly, but I'm saying it's a path that I chose, but because I had parents that said, well, think about this, think about that, think about this, or it shift me because I was attuned to their voice, but I had to walk. I had to walk in something I desired because still it's come out of flesh, and
Mhm.
I still can't had to listen to him, and I think that's the thing because just like you say that it'll be that person to say, I went to church and his prophet spoke to me, and that's God. I'm selling everything tomorrow because they can't hear it for God for themselves.
right. So the person who's hearing from God himself wouldn't do that.
What's that?
They'd be able to discern that this wasn't from. Remember what Jesus said? He said, "My sheep hear my voice, and I call them by name." He didn't say,
That's
"My
my
sheep
point.
learn to hear my voice."
That's my point.
They learn. They hear my voice. But
That's my point. My sheep hear my voice. But he said, trust in the Lord all thy heart and lean not into thy own understanding. And he said, what if you lean not to your own understanding? He will direct thy path. He said, I'll speak and tell you your whole direction, your whole path. I know like some people say, well, God told me my wife. I know some people said God showed me who my wife's gonna be. And for a while that was my prayer. God showed me. And then God tell me. Then I realized that Moses said one wrong thing and he got mad, hit the rock. God said you can't go to the promised land. um, and that because he knew God's voice, he audibly. So the higher the tone, the clarity, the higher the punishment. Higher the consequence because there's no excuse. I think no, I think I know, I think because a lot of times we'll move in our feeling, our impression, but then by two or three, matter word of God, it confirm it, and still everything may not be um uh, uh creamy. Everything may not be like what's the old girl name? Elizabeth Elliot. Her and her husband got killed. They go and witness to the people in the forest, wherever the indigent,
Amazon or
the
whatever it is.
Amazon, right? And they killed her husband, and she stayed there and witnessed to her. They still playing the reruns of the audios on radio now,
Uh-huh.
and say, well, was that my path? My path killed me.
Not necessarily. That doesn't
Okay.
mean that doesn't mean that you're. Um, that's why you have to be directed by the Holy Spirit. That's my point.
How we know that
Just
that wasn't.
because, just because, and I've someone preached this, and I wasn't the original of the person's thought, but he said something I think is very accurate. I once met a woman who I was praising this particular denomination because I did a research paper and I found out that they have a budget of $130 million, 39 for missions. I was praising them. She was from another country. I was like, man, can you believe this church? And I know if she said, now this is a Christian woman, um, in school to become, I forgot what she's getting, but anyway, she said, oh, I despise those people. And it stunned me. I said, what?
Was
Did
she
you hear what I
working?
said? $139 million for me. And she was like, oh, I despise those people. And I was like, now what stunned me, now she was from another country. And I said, well, why do you? She said, oh, those people, they came to our country And how are you going to witness to somebody and you despise and you detest them? I said, what do you mean? She said they came over, like those missionaries from the particular church. She said they wouldn't even shake your hand. She said to me, and then some of them, you shake their hand, you see them go wash their hand. Okay, now you're probably wondering, like, what does this have to do with anything? Because we told Christians, hey, if you're a Christian, you need to have a passport. Because God said, no, every Christian is not called to go to do evangelism
Missionary
in
work.
Africa.
Yeah,
Every
missionary work. Yeah.
You need to know. That's why you need Holy Spirit. So we say, oh, well, man, they went to this country and they got killed. It's also just as highly possible that some missionaries, many, not some, but not all, have done more harm than good. Because it wasn't what they were. It's kind of like this pastor said. He said, listen, if you don't like kids, we don't want you in children's church. You in children's church, like, well, it's a sacrifice.
Or
Kicking
if you
God,
people.
got a record and you got to
that's not your
be,
calling. You need to go do something else. Right? You see what I'm saying? But
Kicking
you
people.
making a sacrifice. No, we don't want you silent. You don't like kids. That's God telling you you're not called to children's ministry. It's the same thing. People going across the world as missionaries, right? And the Holy Spirit is saying, don't go there. Oh no, I gotta make a sacrifice. No, you're not called to that. I have people that are called to that can do it and they do good, but that's not you. You don't even like people. What you doing going to a village in Uganda for? You see what I'm saying? So my point, that's what I mean. You have to have a relation with God and you have to be led by the Holy Spirit. What we do is because we don't want to develop authenticity in our relationship, we hear a word, and it's like that kid. You guys have children who's building, hey, daddy, help me do this. And you're helping him. So, okay, I got it, I got it. And you're like, wait, hold up now, wait. I haven't finished showing you, and he's trying to take it. You say, okay, fine, go do it. And it messes up again. He said, I told you to wait. I told you, and that's how some Christians are. We get a word, and we shoot forward, and the Holy Spirit's like, no, yeah, I know I told you to go throughout all the world and preach the gospel, but you need to be led by me. But a lot of Christians are running ahead of the Holy Spirit, right? But not in tune with Him. So that's what I'm saying. You could give your all and persevere in something, right? But it isn't. And at the end of it, you realize, oh man, that 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 was meaningless. That wasn't it. Or you could see God, find your path. Dave Chappelle, comedy. Tom Brady, quarterback. Tom Brady probably would have been a terrible I don't know, linebacker. Probably not because he didn't like he could run real well. But Warren Buffett, investing, not Microsoft guy, coding. Find your path.
Bill Gates.
Be okay with it.
Mhm.
That
Hello?
was pretty, wasn't it?
That's
Huh?
what?
Hello?
Yes.
Yeah. We was waiting on you. You was very
Yeah.
passionate. I
Yeah,
was about to pass the collection plate.
yeah, I'm about to get you some juice.
Yeah.
Juice.
Yeah,
What does juice have to do with perseverance?
when you're preaching, they come up with that glass with the
The wet your whistle
yeah,
with the top
right.
on.
The top on there. The glass of hot pass like you get the hot tea. Count
Yeah.
Gin
on
and juice?
it.
No. We talking about when the pastor is up there giving a
Yeah,
sermon.
yeah.
Oh, that's
I'm
gin and
sorry.
juice.
I should say Christian beer. You know what Christian beer is, right? That's
What
root
is
beer.
that?
Root
Root
beer.
beer?
Yeah. You
Because
know
you
what
get
Christian bourbon is.
because
You
you
know
get
what
to the root of
Christian
the
bourbon
problem.
is, huh?
Because you get to the root of the problem.
Yeah. Root beer is the best beer. You know what Christian bourbon is, don't you?
What is it?
Cream soda. But anyway, I digress.
Boy,
Well, you know what? Not to
that
have kids, you got dad jokes.
yeah, that and they're not good. They're not good dad jokes either.
Yeah,
They're good
they
to
bad. They
somebody.
bad.
They're bad.
They're good
They
to
bad.
somebody. I'm
They
so sorry.
bad.
Them,
They
them,
They're good
them,
to somebody.
Sparky jokes. He would tell a dog that.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey,
Hater.
just because your dog bark when you say it doesn't mean he laughing.
But he's smiling too. Hey
Yeah, because he know you hold the key to his food and water.
there.
Yeah, I agree that that a lot of people get compelled, and you can just like leaving church. Everybody, well, you just need to pick something to volunteer to be of service. And why you doing? You hating it?
Well,
Mhm.
to me, I said something about this probably a week or two ago.
I,
That
well,
it's
repeat.
it's a
I can
heart.
hear.
I said to me, I just spoke on something like that. What you call it? That's a heart issue. Being in a ministry, that's a heart issue. You got to have a heart for that ministry. It even go back to what Renee was saying. If you don't have that heart for it, because you don't want a greeter to be at the door and they got attitude problem. They giving everybody a stink face, and they profiling everybody coming. Hey, just because they don't have on a suit or look like are nicely dressed or casually dressed, they might have on some jeans and a t-shirt, and they might be looking at them like, you coming in church, right? You know what I mean? Not even knowing the person's situation or anything, or you just got a mean disposition about yourself, but you the first person they meet,
No,
you
we have
know.
a person like that, but I mean, he's good people though. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Renee? Mike?
RuPaul,
No, Renee.
RuPaul,
Renee, I
RP,
can't hear
right?
you.
Hello.
Oh Lord. And so we got a person like that, evangel. I mean, he's good people, but he didn't play.
But he in what?
He didn't play. Well, you better sit right there.
Oh yeah.
What you mean? Was he a
I ain't
greeter
doing
or
it.
a usher? Because I mean, he telling somebody to
He's
sit.
an usher.
Sound like a usher.
He's an usher. Renee, you know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Usher. Hmm.
He didn't play all right, but he was called. Yeah, he offended me a couple of times, man. But I forgave him.
Yeah. See, it,
But
and that's the
he's
thing
good
though.
people though. He's just right off the cuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he.
See, he sounded like he should have been more on the security team. You know what I mean?
The what?
Not security team, not greeter. That's the kind of demeanor you want for security.
Nah. What you think,
Yeah.
Renee?
Yeah, he
If
was pretty stern, pretty. But and this is a good life example. I prayed when I was 15. I prayed, and I asked God to show me my calling and my gift. And He showed it to me at 15 years old in a miraculous way. If I told you, well, I'm not, which I'm not, it was stunning. But I got it, but then I didn't seek him as so, okay, how do I fulfill this? And I changed course
okay,
because I'm Generation X. And Generation X, you guys may be that too, actually. Well, I know you are, Byron, because you're older. Generation X, you were all about women. Generation X, we worship women. So we did whatever would get us women. So everybody was trying to be either a doctor, a lawyer, an engineer, a sports celebrity, or
a
some type of
marine,
actor or singer.
a marine.
No, they weren't trying to be a marine. No.
Hey, Marines, we get all the women.
Yeah,
Hey, I'm
but that.
playing.
But I'm not gonna lie though. I used to be a civilian employee at the Well, anyway, never mind that. Yeah. But so I pursued becoming an engineer. Why was I trying to be an engineer? I was persevering, right? But it wasn't God's path for my life. It
Get the
was
check.
society telling me if you want to be somebody and you want to be prestigious and you want to make money and you
You
want
need
to
to be
marry
a Marine.
a beautiful wife, you become doctor, lawyer, engineer, whatever, whatever. So I was trying to pursue to be an engineer. It took years for me and I was persevering, but I was miserable because I was persevering on the wrong path. God was trying to help me to see, Renee, this is not, darn it, I said my name. God was trying to help me see, RP, this is not what I have for you. This is not your path. It took me years of
You ain't
finally
never
letting
said
go of
RP. Go ahead.
it, right? But when I finally let go of it, I found such joy and happiness. So that's what I mean. When I snapped into what God, and I realized in my 30s, like, man, I should have been doing this all along. So that's what I mean. You need to persevere, absolutely, but make sure you're persevering in the garden that God has for you. Everybody has a garden of Eden, and your garden will supply you with everything you need: fruits, vegetables, food, water, animals, companionship. But make sure you're cultivating your garden, your right garden. And I think a lot of people aren't doing that because they envy and want to be like other
Yep,
people,
I agree.
but that's not who they are.
Mm-hmm.
And what do you think the most influence? Um, what the most influence comes from? Um, as you grow into knowing thyself. I mean, let's say most influence when you're in your 20s. What would you say most influence came from as you come to know thyself?
Well, in my case, as I grew and I matured, it was God. It was the Word of God, the Holy Spirit. But in my younger years, it was society. I remember my passion, and I remember hearing someone talk about it, and he was like, "Oh man, I'll never want to be that." He didn't know. He didn't know what God told me. But we having a conversation just about this other person who was, in the same line of work that God called me to. And I am saying, "Oh man, I would never want to be that. He's poor. He doesn't have anything." And I remember it struck me like, "Oh, right," So I'm trying to be an engineer, and I'm gonna tell you how bad it was. One of my professors, I'll never forget it. One of my professors pulled me aside to talk to me in private, and she said to me, now imagine a college professor telling you this. She said to me, "Have you ever considered going and get some therapy and maybe getting some antidepressant? Because man, you are a really unhappy person." That's how evident it was that I was in the wrong garden.
Wait. This the masters, ain't it?
Huh? No, this is
This,
undergrad. I tell you, I knew when I was 15.
What
I
did you?
just
What you supposed to be? What did God say you're supposed to be at 15?
Well, I don't. I prefer not to say that at this time.
what?
Um, but
What you say?
yeah,
What's the question?
he asked me, um, what was the thing? What's that? A monster? What you drinking, man? You gonna be up all night?
No,
What's that? Is that a
pineapple
Red Bull?
orange.
A
No,
who?
pineapple orange.
Oh, is that cold? Was that room temperature?
Yeah, it's room temperature. Anything at my age is gonna send me to the bathroom first.
Okay.
You, you don't keep
Wow.
a bucket in there?
Anyway, but in, but anyway, yeah, that's my point. Yeah, just when you
Hold
climb in
on.
the ladder of success,
Let
make
me
sure.
let me put this plug in.
Wow. You know, in all fairness, that's a good high quality mug. It's real thick, and the paint and everything is still just like new. So I don't know who did it for you, but it came out pretty good
Now, if
quality.
you could just show it on the screen instead of this circle.
He showed it
Well,
just.
he talking about you. I'm
Yeah,
What
showing mine.
are you talking about? I don't have it. It's downstairs in the kitchen. I'm upstairs in my bedroom.
No, he wants you to take a picture, and other than that avatar that you have, or that picture that you have with the sunset, he wants
Oh,
that to be your mug. That's what he's saying.
it's not letting me do that. It's not letting me pick a
See,
picture. I tried.
see, Doctor D. My my
uh,
my calling is to be a translator to RP.
That's
right where you
right.
go, the short bus.
I'm glad. I'm glad you 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 you, you do that. You do it much better than you used to. I like that.
What? What? I what?
I said you translate much better than you used to.
Okay.
You know? You used to be like, "You filthy maggot! What is wrong with you? Why
Wait,
did you not
wait,
show
wait, wait, wait.
avatar on the screen?
You like,
Didn't mommy and daddy give you enough attention when you were at home? Put your avatar on the screen."
That
But you're
that would
like,
be that sounds more like Phil. What Phil would do. Lord.
well, it's odd because I see a skyline. I don't know why you guys don't see that. I see an
I see
avatar.
I see the skyline. I can see
yeah,
the
but I
sun
guess it's
over
for
the.
tiny eyes because it's tiny.
Oh, you can't make. But Byron, this is on you. I mean, Doctor D. You're supposed to make
But
it bigger. It's not on
no,
you.
no, but the preference is not to have that on there all.
Oh, you know what? You just made me realize something. I'm gonna pull up YouTube on my TV. See what this looks like.
Just put your TV on mute for you won't have that
Yeah,
echo like
yeah,
sound.
yeah. I'm gonna read it. I'm just curious to see what you're talking about. That was the same period of time when I thought about joining the Marines. When I was in undergrad, trying to be an engineer.
Man, not been a bad idea.
Huh?
Yeah,
Yeah.
for structure.
Who knows? Yeah, I think about that sometimes. That maybe that would have turned out well. But it is what it is.
There's recruiting hard on Auntie's campus for the Coast Guards.
Oh, that's a
Ah,
service.
Dog, that's messed up.
No, I'm just picking. No,
Yeah,
I respect all branches of service, but
like
you hear veterans talk,
like the
we always
iotas.
pick at we
Like in the
we pick
Greek
at.
fraternities, like the iotas. They like they the newest thing to the clubs. And people, who y'all again?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, who y'all
It,
again?
it's number
But
love. It's number love. You will find every service guy mess anybody in the service mess with the other service, but when it come down to it, we we have to all stick together.
you ever watch that podcast with the sniper, the Rangers, the guy with the long locks?
I never watched his podcast. I seen a
you said the
couple of
what?
like short videos of him.
Yeah, his short videos. Yeah,
Of
you ever
who?
watch his short videos?
Of
It's
who?
this guy. He's pretty popular on YouTube. He does a lot of short videos. He's a former. He's a retired Ranger. Marines are Rangers,
Oh
right?
no no
Rangers.
no no!
No, he
He's a
was in the
ranger.
army. He was in
He's,
the army.
he's a sniper.
Yeah, he was a sniper in the army.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Yeah.
guy you talking about? Yeah.
He said,
And he talked.
I'll kill your whole bloodline." That's what he said.
But he talked about how he did this one mission with the Navy SEALs, and he said it was they treated them very poorly. Was his
Right.
word?
I saw that one.
You saw that one?
Yeah.
And he said the I don't know what you call the person that's over the base, whatever, pulled
The
the
CO,
pulled
commanding
the seal
officer.
aside and said, "Hey, I know you guys are supposed to be like some really bad people, but they're like 35 Rangers on this, so this is probably not gonna go the way you think." So it seems like sometimes I don't know, you know that sometimes different branches can be negative towards each other.
Yeah, you're gonna have sometimes, yeah. But at the end of the day, we can be negative towards each other, but we wouldn't let nobody else be negative towards you. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
It's like if you got a sibling, you can be mean to him, sibling. You can be mean to him, but you're not gonna let nobody else be mean to him. It's kind of like that.
Oh, okay. Mhm. Okay.
And then you got some people that's just stuck in their ways too that, you know, take it would take it beyond that. But most of us are like, yeah, I'm gonna pick on them, but you know what? If that, no matter what branch of service, I find out they're a veteran and they need some assistance, I'm gonna help them. It doesn't matter. But when it's your branch of service, of course, it's like much love. It's like playing a sports. You're gonna look out for your teammate first, and then the other person on the other team, you want probably make sure they are all right too.
Right.
Right.
It's nothing personal, but your team first.
So Marine will look out for a Marine first.
Yeah.
And then you look out for Navy second.
Yeah, because Marines and weren't Marines and Navy the same?
Yeah.
That's
No,
why
we're Marines. We're a division. We're a division of the Navy. We're the men's department.
right. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I see it. No, I see. What's wrong with that? I see the circle. What's wrong with that?
Well, maybe ours not as tiny as yours.
Oh, yeah, I pulled it up on the TV. It's pretty on the TV.
I
Three
think.
boxes on the same
But
side.
how big is your screen, Dr. D?
Well, I'm on the computer, so I mean, I'm not on my.
See,
television.
that's why yours looks smaller. See, I'm sitting in front like a 42-inch screen.
Right,
So,
but still, the preference is a picture of yourself or my mug.
The preference according to who?
hey, it's his show. He talking about it's his preference. He trying to tell you.
Oh, I
His
got you.
preference. See how I just translated that for you, Dr. D?
Right.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. I get
He put you on the right path. Thank Yeshua for that.
Now you listen to me. I want that rifle and I want it now.
What rifle?
Never mind. It's from the movie. Man, you guys don't know you ever watch that movie, man? Full Metal Jacket? That's one of the
That's
best.
a classic. That's a classic Marine movie.
That's a classic movie, man.
Uh-huh.
You listen to me. I want that rifle.
Oh, that's when Joker shot him, right?
Yeah. I want it now.
I don't even remember it.
Oh, yeah, that's a classic. Oh, he passed away.
Yeah, he passed away some years ago.
I don't think I've ever seen the whole movie.
Huh?
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen the whole movie. You talk about early 80s.
You come on. Like, what can you get for $10? Everything you want. You remember that?
Now, I don't think I've seen the whole. That's on TV.
Alabama Black State, Tubuku. What else?
Of course, you gonna remember it.
No, it's a good movie. It's probably one of the best.
40 years ago.
40.
40.
It's not that
old.
I don't think it's that. It came out like maybe in the 90s. Oh, you think it was 80s?
Or 89,
was it 80s? Are you looking it up?
No, okay. That's it.
Okay, I think we all Generation X. Because I'm looking at this thing. I'm sorry, I had pulled it up. From 1965 to 1980 is Generation X.
Oh, yeah, we all are then.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Google, when did Full
Metal Jacket
come out?
June 26th, 1987.
I was right.
According to Wikipedia.
Okay.
I told you, I said 40 years ago. I mean, I said that thing was like 1989. I thought. And I was right at 1987.
I just graduated
high school.
Yeah.
Well, I still was in high school. No, I graduated in May. Yeah.
Private Brown, where are you from? Texas. Texas? Only stairs and queers come from Texas.
Yeah.
Are you gay, baby? Huh? No, I'm not. Yes, sir. You look like the type of guy that'll bang somebody in the back and don't even have the courtesy to give him a reach around. I'm gonna be you.
I take it somebody's seen it more than once.
Oh yeah, that movie, man.
Yeah, that's a classic. That's a classic.
Yeah, that's the best portrayal of a drill sergeant I think I've ever seen in any movie ever.
Yeah, he was realistic. That's some craziness that would be said.
Did
he hit it home?
Yeah, he did. He was an actual Marine.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he
was an actual Marine, so he was hitting it. He was hitting it. And it's
And I
like,
know they tell me back then. I know the laws have changed, but they say back then they could hit you, they could PT you to death, they could do
Mhm.
all. But over the years, because of the lawsuits, there's a lot of stuff that they can't do to you now that they used to be able to do to
They
you.
still do it. They just don't do it to women.
you, well, put it like this: you just can't get caught.
Can't get caught. But
Ah,
Yeah,
yeah, they probably don't do is yeah. You don't get caught, and probably the higher you, I may be wrong, but probably the higher you get as far as in the elite squad is worse. Am I correct?
I don't know. I wasn't in an elite squad,
No, like if you
I know certain
Green
units had they certain things had they certain traditions that you had to go through. Um,
like your Green Beret Ranger or
I
SEAL.
remember when I picked up corporal and that's the first rank of NCO. Being an NCO, you earn what's called your blood stripe. That's the when you see the Marines in their dress blues. If you're a E4 and above, you have a red stripe going down the side of your blue pants.
Right.
And one thing they used to do, you used to walk between two columns of Marines of your rank and above that already achieved that rank. They'll be hitting you in the legs, hitting you, what you call it. Sometimes you're not being able to walk, but they faced a lot of that stuff out because of hazing. Because some people took it too far. When you injure somebody, it's it went too far because now you're taking a Marine out to fight. Some of it I understand, but some of it just took away from some of the fun and traditions. So a lot of stuff don't happen like it used to because they had rules against that. You can get in trouble um, for participating and stuff like that. So a lot of it just went by the wayside, kind of like the tattoo things. You know, it was a time when you could be all tatted up. Now you can't. So um, it just a lot of it changed for I would say for the better, but some of the traditions, you kind of dislike when it went away. I remember when we, excuse me, one move when we went from the regular green utilities or candies, whatever you want to call them,
Mm.
and we went to the new digital style. Well, it ain't so new now because it's been over 20, 25 years now, something like that. The new digital ones and went from the old Vietnam style jungle boots and Cadillacs, the all leather boots and stuff like that. I waited to the last minute to transition because I used to like pressing out my uniform, my utility uniform, having sharp creases, starch, the uniform can stand up, spit shine boots and things like that. When we moved to the newer style uniform, the new digital style, no more spit shine boots because they was like this tan like nubuck material and no more ironing your camis, pressing out your camis because it did something to the camis, but the camis was designed to do something, but when you iron them, it like takes it mess with that feature. I can't remember the exact thing, but I remember when that went away because it was like the canvas became wash, dry, and wear.
Yeah,
And I was used to, huh?
it sounds like it got lax.
Yeah, to me it was lax. You know what
so
I mean?
you
But
didn't have to iron it anymore.
yeah, you didn't have to iron that particular uniform anymore, which kind of made sense. I mean, it was like features of that uniform. It was much better than the old style, but I think when you did something to it, it caused it. I don't remember the exact thing what it caused, but my my years starting out in the Marine Corps, we did wear press camis. You know what I mean? That was one distinguished thing of showing you being squared away is spit shine boots and press uniforms. The creases be sharp. You can cut it. You can cut the knife with your crease. Stuff like that. It was like that appearance, that pride thing. Somebody put some work into that
It's a
uniform
mindset.
of press. So yeah, that was a yeah, that was hard for me the transition. I waited till I couldn't wear it no more until it was official, because they phased it in, and I waited till when I couldn't wear them no more. So, some things you stick to it, and that's just like this. I remember when I first came in, still had a couple of Vietnam era Marines, and I remember checking into my first command, like, hey, y'all new Marines, y'all, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, what you talking about? We all Marines. We went to boot camp, blah, blah, blah. But you know what? Things do change. And I realized that when it was my time getting ready to exit, as time went on and I was getting ready to exit, retire, I was like, yeah, you're right. Because I seen the difference in my generation, in the next generation, and even today. And I've been retired almost 10 and a half years. Even today, I can I see some young Marines, and I can see the change. They even changed from when, over 10 years ago. So but some things are for the better. You know what I mean? Sometimes we have to evolve, and that's what I realized with my time in the service. You have to evolve, because technology is different. People think a little differently. The foundation is still there, but technology wise and how you go about some things, you have to evolve, because people mindsets are totally different, and everything that jump started us don't necessarily jumpstart the younger generation.
Mm. The Navy has SEALs. Army, I guess, has Green Berets. What is the elite soldier for the Marines? Or
Well, we
is
got Marsoc, and we have
Commandos.
no, not commandos. I'm trying to recon.
Oh, okay, okay. Marsap and Recon.
Marsoc and Misa,
Marsop.
and yeah, Marsoc. Yeah,
Oh, okay,
Special Operation Command, Marine Special Operation Command.
okay. Is that hard to get into?
I don't know. I never applied for it or anything. It's it's more. I don't want to tell you the wrong answer. Just look it up, please. Marsoc.
Okay,
Yeah,
MAR.
yeah. I don't want to give you the. I don't want to blow smoke.
Okay, Marsop. Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah. But it's you have different groups. Marines have snipers. Also, I think just about every branch of service may have snipers. But
Everybody got professional killer.
yeah, but I know Marines are the only ones that every Marine, no matter what your MOS or occupation, military occupational specialist, we all are riflemen, basic riflemen. No matter if you female, what they all. So we all have to be able to qualify. You have to be able to swim, and you have to be able to be able to shoot a weapon. And
Uh,
because uh, rifle ranges require annually swim qual, depending on what your swim level is. You might have to do it every 2 years, every 6 years. I don't know if they changed the standards. I remember when I first came in, it used to be every year that you had to redo your swim qual, and then rifle range was every year. Pistol range was every year. So you had to be able to qualify. If you couldn't qualify, you can stay in the service. That was for a Marine. That's a requirement, because every Marine has to be a basic rifleman first.
mm,
Hey, fellas, tell me, is there any area, any time that you felt that you dogged out? It can be physically, emotionally, and then this is when perseverance takes place. When you you like you had a goal in mind. Your mind thought you can do more than your body did, and and that time you let your body win for a second. Your mind said, "Get your tail up and keep on moving," or you said, "Okay, mind, shut up. My body tired. We ain't doing this no more," or my brain is tired. You're telling your mind, my brain is tired, and I don't want to do this no more. So which one was it? Was it that you was doing something and you just beat up and you pushed beyond that point of exhaustion or beyond that thought? I'm just tired of doing it. Has anybody has
Like
any?
Goggins,
Hmm?
like Goggins, is that his name? He's like
Stay
an
hard.
extreme.
Stay hard. Yeah,
Huh?
but not exactly. I'm not saying you're running with a broken ankle or shin for 1,000 miles. No, nothing of that extent. I mean, just think of you running gases and the coach one more, and you say, and you just cause I,
Well,
and then you just I can't do it. Or I'm gonna
mm,
push it. You rallied yourself on the push beyond that.
uh, I think for myself, the most challenging part of my life was getting through boot camp, Marine Corps boot camp. Good experience. Wouldn't want to do it again, uh, but glad that I did do it. Uh, but I think that's that was like the hardest push. My body was tired, but my mind kept telling me I had to do it. For one, I wanted to be a Marine. Two, I wasn't a quitter. For three, that hey, that was something I felt like I had to do because that was the choice that I made to become a Marine. And I was told, and one of the things is when I was told that I couldn't be, that would allow the other person to win. So maybe I was being stubborn and selfish at the same time.
All right, Renee.
Hmm. I'm thinking. Yeah, I think I've probably had both. You know, I'm thinking of. Uh, well, I mean, moving south. That was a big thing for me. I persevered in that. You know, I literally packed up as much as I could fit in a 1970 Volvo 240 GL with rust in it. Uh, and you know, I endured, packed up everything, came south. Flunked out the first college, but I didn't give up. Packed up everything, came south, got back into college and was able to graduate, you know.
What's the
Hmm.
Very,
first? What's the first closet?
I
New
was in
York.
upstate, the first person I went to college was upstate New York.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was a very difficult time in my life. Probably I would rank it in the top 15 worst times in my entire life was
What made
living.
what made that so bad?
Oh, everything. I think I've come to understand I really wasn't supposed to be there, but like I said, I pushed through. It was
Maybe,
just
maybe you had,
miserable.
maybe you had
It-
to be there so you could push through.
or I could have just listened to God, you know.
Oh,
I
you heard, yeah. If
could
you
have like went and took the right path. I eventually ended up the right place, but I could have went there initially.
so you Jonah, huh?
Huh?
You Jonah.
Belly
Go
of
to
the
Nineveh. I
whale.
ain't going on Nineveh.
No, it was more like I got fixated. Like I said, I wanted to be an engineer and all this stuff. It was just really, it was cold. It was failure. It was The first day I got there, somebody stole my radio off the Greyhound bus.
Where you was at in Rochester?
No, Binghamton.
Uh,
Yeah.
I got accepted to Rochester too, but
You can't live without your radio.
yeah, I had to. They stole
yeah,
my radio.
you know what I'm saying you couldn't play your LL Cool
Yeah.
J.
Oh, they
Mhm.
did.
None of that. They got me.
So where are you originally from, Renee?
New York City, Brooklyn.
Okay, okay. So even though going to the country part, kind of like mess you up.
I went from New York. I never liked New York City. I was not a happy child growing up in New York City. Then I
Okay,
went to upstate New York, and that was even worse. But then I came south, and that's when the cloud of darkness that had been over my life for so long finally lifted when I came south.
what was special about the South? Was it the slow pace, the more laid
Everything.
back people?
Yeah, everything. The South fit me as a person. I was never in New York. I
Wait,
always
Okay.
felt
your sound went bad.
I said the South fit me as a person. I
Different
was
princip-
never a real New Yorker.
yeah, different principalities too.
Yeah.
So I came
Okay.
south, and that's when, yeah, everything about the South fits me. The pace, the weather, Southern hospitality.
Yeah. You don't feel like you have to be on guard all the time, correct?
Yeah, so not crowded. New York City was so crowded, so many people. I mean, it's for people. There are a lot of people who love New York City. You know, I
Mhm.
get it. It just was never for me. And upstate New York was even worse. But when I came to North Carolina, I was like, yay! My life changed for the better. And it's been getting better ever since. So I'm
Well,
grateful.
well, when you came, is that because you went straight to Fayetteville, or how do you know to come to North Carolina? North Carolina?
The son of one of the reverends at my old church, he was a student. He was a student at Fayetteville State University. And he
Uh huh.
showed me his yearbook. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to be here anymore. And that same month, I did it over the phone. That's back in the day. They mailed me an application. I filled it out. I mailed it back. You know, all that stuff's done online now. I mailed it back and got accepted. And you know,
That had to be an exciting time, even though it was kind of risky. That had to be an exciting time.
I was
Well,
so happy to leave upstate New York. Absolutely, it was. I
Hmm.
love Fayetteville State.
I,
I think
I,
it's one of the happiest people there. People thought I was strange. They're like, "Why are you smiling all the time?" I'm like, "'Cause I'm happy. I like the food in the cafeteria. Everyone else complaining. I'm like, what y'all talking about? This is good. Grits and eggs
Give me
and
your
great
plate.
eggs. It's awesome.
yeah, man. I haven't been to Fayetteville in a few years. That's about a little bit over 2 hours from me.
Yeah, I used to work at Fort Bragg. I was a civilian employee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Well, the time is
Let.
good. It's over.
You know what? I think when I came from Chicago to North Carolina, it was
Chirac.
it was less. It's more of an adventure because I ain't never been here before,
Hmm.
uh, and it's intriguing. It's more adventure. I never been here before. Went right to school and knowing different people, different culture. But I would say the thing that I think that took less perseverance. Um, I had to stick to it and move. Yeah, because I'd pay for everything myself.
Hmm.
But what pushed me a lot of perseverance was when I hit my freshman year at St. Paul. I was going to A&T to play football, so I had to get ready for a camp, and it was a heat wave in Chicago. Um, and it was like 102 degrees the whole day. It was like 99.5 at 12 midnight. That's when I ran because it still was hot, but the sun was down, and that was to prepare uh for 3 days because that was a perseverance thing. I went to summer school, had to get my grades. I had to take algebra. I took a community college, and I thought I had to come back, but I know I had to get to football camp. And then a teacher told me, he said, "Listen, he said you just he said, listen, you can come back and do it incomplete. You get a chance to get an A, or I can give you a C right now." I said, "Say less," because it's pass or fail. It's pass or fail. So I said, "Yes." So I went to camp. Now this is perseverance was because we did 3 days for 2 weeks, and it was like up at 6 a.m. You practice, then you eat probably 8:30, 9. Then you practice again 11, 12. I forgot 12 to 2, 3, and then you eat. No. Then you practice again for like 3 to 6, something like that. And we did that for 2 weeks straight. And the coach lied to you and say that after you get through with this, you made it to the promised land. Everything else is easy. It wasn't easy, but the first 2 weeks was very arduous and hard. It's like, man, you get up, you got to do this, do this. I mean, yeah, and you run in every practice. That was kind of different. That was perseverance. I was pushing, and you saw people with full rides leaving. It's like 160 people. My numbers may be off. 160, 150 people, and probably 80 people lasted. He ain't cut nobody. They
That's
cut
that.
themselves.
That's what he was doing. He was weeding out
They
people.
beat them
See
out.
who.
People, there's full rides,
Hmm.
full rides, and they'll say, "I'm going," and they left. Um, but then when season started, the school started. This was a lie. The lie was that it get easy. You know why it didn't get easier? It's not because the workout, because before was nobody on campus but us. There was no distractions. There's no classes. There's no girls. There's nothing.
Hmm.
But then we had classes. You had girls. You had distractions. And then sometimes you get just 6 o'clock in the morning to do practice before your 8 o'clock class. And it was that Monday through. I mean, Monday through Friday. Then you have game on Saturday. You have film on Sunday, and then Monday the whole season like that. My point is the perseverance. It's been times I go with my boys who say I'm gonna quit. He said don't quit, and I said no, we don't quit. We don't quit, man. We don't quit. I didn't quit. But the 3 weeks I prepared for, but still it didn't make it easier. The goal was to play. It would make it easier because you had a playbook. You learning stuff on hand. But I can honestly say, due to perseverance, the perseverance makes you stronger. It builds fortitude. It builds character because no matter what people say, you ain't gonna give up. I remember online, I actually have us doing jingle jangle running, and we fight to get over there. One time I didn't run, and coaches back there laugh. They know what they doing. They know what they doing. They laughing, but it makes you stronger, and you push through. Especially
Hmm.
you have a goal in mind and you push through. You get there, you don't let it overcome you. You push through. It's easier said than done, though.
Yeah, that's that's how I felt about Marine Corps boot camp. How you just strive like it over and over and over again, and you could be physically, mentally exhausted, and it's no let up. And I think that was part of the reasons that they did it to weed out who who can um, who can take it. You know, who will be the best. You know, who the people that's not going to quit. That's what you want. You know, I'd rather have a few good people than a whole team of bad people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because you know, if you got them few dedicated, you know, that's like being in ministry. A few dedicated can carry the weight of you got 50 people that you gotta like always run out and get them to do what they supposed to be doing. But if you got 5 or 6 good ones, they taking care of business. You like, whoo, thank you. You know.
Yeah, that perseverance is a lot of times you don't. It's it's how much do you really want it?
Yeah.
It's how much
Yeah.
do you really want it? Uh, and even if it's something that you don't want long haul, how much do you want to complete? How much so you can learn the lesson from the trek? This yeah. How much do you really want it? It's easy to quit. It's easy to fall prey to what other people's lives are because you want to be like the Joneses or the Johnsons. Doesn't matter. But it goes in jobs. It goes in relationships, and anybody can say everything is sunny when everything is sunny.
What was that New Edition song? Sunny days, everybody love them, but can you stand around?
Yeah, that preach right there. Can you stand in the rain? Yeah, everybody loves. I mean, so everybody's on. Well, it should be smooth. No, he never said it'd be smooth. He never said it'd be easy. He said it'd just be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, race is not given to the swift to the strong, but to one who perseveres to the end. Can you
Mm-hmm.
push? And even when things are not optimal, it's not a perfect situation. It's not a perfect relationship. But you have to look at what did you promise? What was your objective? You
Mm-hmm.
can't change people, but you can change your response. If you can change your response, you can help your health. Decrease the
Mm-hmm.
cortisol levels, increase the oxytocin and dopamine levels, and you do better and get your own release. I think God showed me uh, a while back. He said, "Listen, you can change how you respond to different things because 99% of what happens in this world is due to how you respond to it. But what you cannot do, you cannot change what you did not create. But as soon as you learn that you cannot change, do you really think that's out?
You cannot change what you didn't create?
No, no, no. I've been talking about Renee. Now it's you.
Not me this time.
Yeah, not you this time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I just put up my chips. I put on mute. Uh, yes, you can't change. Yeah, you showed me that you can't change what you didn't create, and as soon as you stop trying to change what you didn't create, watch how your disposition be. Watch how your health get better. Because I think the biggest thing that we good grief. Um, I know many must. I don't know. I guess Lee just cannot put. He don't know how to put it on the. He sent me a message, right? Oh wow. Uh, okay. I'm gonna interject this, but dog, you threw me off on this one. But oh wow. Um, many people talk about how everything is great, and um, the court. If you don't learn how to release or deal with things, then it's going to deal with you. Um, and it's easier said than done. But a lot of times God allows you to be in certain spots, and then people say, "Well, maybe it's because you were different. Well, maybe it's because God's trying to teach me something. Well, you'd have to be it. Yeah, maybe not, but I'm here." One brother told me, "Say, brother, I just think that it's just it's gonna get. Uh, uh, it's like if you ever talk to people that catastrophize, that always see something bad. It's like the more you say calm and collect, they actually well, brother, I just it's gonna get worse. That's encouraging. Yeah, he said, but no, we all living. But it's how you see it. It's all about the lens. Now, Lee just sent me oh wow, he sent me a link. I ain't gonna. He said he said he sent me a link. He took a picture of his sutures and like they sewed up his back because you know it working the spine and it's healing up nice, but I never saw it at the beginning. Um, and his what he says is perseverance. I know many must have prayed. I had to keep a picture in my mind to keep going. Let me see. Let me see. You see this?
Yeah,
Now you see it?
man. Yeah,
Sheesh.
that's
Good.
serious.
Yeah.
Wow. That was like something out the Matrix.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it does. He
It
said
looked
so.
like.
Huh?
Nah, I was gonna say it looked like they did an implant or something. You know what I mean? Like major surgery
They,
because my
yeah,
my my
spine.
scars wasn't like that. Okay, yeah, I mean I get that, but I just remember when I had a torn rotator cuff, my incision wasn't all that bad. I was able to have laser, and I seen other people that before me, years before me, that had rotator cuff surgery. It looked like they almost cut off their arm. You can see the scar coming from their front all the way to their back. But
Right.
I had a little incision in my front of my chest and a incision in the back in my back, and they was probably like an inch long. And now you don't even see the scars where I had surgery.
Yeah. I mean, and relative, what he's saying, I see the skin trying to form and it's healing. And he said,
Mm-hmm.
but Lee had a situation where he got the surgery, and then a week later, as he thought things were healing up.
Are you still using a blood pressure
Oh
monitor?
Lord,
Not needed now. Open your phone and select this feature.
no. Um, he showed. He said, because I think me and Norman was trying to come up there, and he said, he turned over, here something pop,
Mm.
heard something pop,
Was
and
it the
then his wife,
stitches?
yeah, because he
Ooh.
he popped something in the suture, and then his wife said she saw a hole in his back.
Mm.
Just she could see his spine. I think his sister-in-law was a doctor. She said she pointed out as well. They called the emergency. They called the 911. They came and took him, and they had to redo it. They had to redo it, and put something else to make sure it's secure. But can you imagine going through a 7-hour surgery on the road to recovery? And then you move around, and then he said maybe I was moving too much, and wasn't laying right, and then it just popped. But can you
Mm.
imagine going through that surgery and then realize, oh Lord, it is undone, and then
Yeah.
that happened again, and then but now it's healing. Now it's healing. I can see the healing. I just never saw it at the very beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that's a blessing, right, within itself. So when people talk about they cannot persevere, man, he talk about he telling me he's talking about he might go get on me about this. Well, he should come on so he can tell me hush. Yeah, he said he trying to get a gig somewhere, and the guy said, "Man, come on now." He said, "Mister Hill, we just think you need to get better first. Focus on that." But
Mm-hmm.
but still, that's a man that has an objective and a goal in mind. His goal is to be at a certain point, whereas this is not going to keep me down. Yeah, spine surgery. He talked about he want to do a whole bunch of manual work. On people look on the outside because they don't know who lies on the inside of him. Because
Mm-hmm.
doesn't the word say, "Greatest he is in me than he's in the world"? So if you don't believe he's great, you don't think about great things. You don't think beyond your limitations. And you don't, and even though other people around him was thinking about his limitations, he's thinking about, okay, how long I'm gonna get through with this? So I got stuff to do. My purpose has not been fulfilled. I need to accomplish certain things, and that's good. See, I think God uses something. He uses the bad things to create to get His glory from the testimony. And but it's how you look at the bad thing, because it's not the bad thing. Just the bad thing could just be a rocky terrain. So you can tell, so you can go back and tell another person how they can navigate through it and how they can avoid the landmines, how they can't get blown up, how the snipers be pointing at one direction, don't over there. He can just be going that direction so it can guide other people. Because your misery is not your ministry. Your misery,
Hmm.
no, I said your misery could be your ministry, and I
Hmm.
don't think that was pleasurable. I don't think that ordeal is pleasurable at all. But it becomes part of what he has to talk about. I mean, and yeah, I didn't think that happened. I didn't think that he didn't either. But the perseverance. I mean, and you understand the value of pushing. But I think if you don't have anything to push for, you won't understand the value. If you ain't about family, you won't understand the value of trying to keep it together. Um, if you understand souls, you understand the value about trying to, touch as many people as you can. Workmanship, camaraderie, team. I mean, if you've never been part of a team, a military team, football team, did you understand? You wouldn't understand the value of sure that we all get to the line and not just isolate on one person. Because a lot of people are just selfish because they don't know how to work team together. Everyone achieving much. So I think we just you pray until something happens, but in essence, prayer till something happens is push. And I think put another word for push is persevere till you get to the goal. And everybody's goals is different. You have small goals, you have big goals, but push till you make it and learn the lesson from it. Because it's always a lesson, as long as we still living. When you dead, the lesson, in the more lesson, in the more lesson. My dad taught before he died. The lesson he said that when you ready to go, you can call it. Told my sister, me and the Lord had a talk. He said, I'm gonna leave in 14 days. I said, why can't you stay a little longer? No, 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 I can't stay. He said, it's gonna be quick. Watch. In 14 days, November the 3rd, my father died. He died at 11:45, I think, but he died on November the 3rd. 11 plus 3. He died in 14 days. In 14 days on the 14th day. That's a bad man.
Mm. Wow.
He persevered. He died in 14 days on the 14th day, according to 11 plus 3. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, every day I get up, it's another day I can say, okay, I still can move my limbs. I'm gonna get back to the judo mat, jiu-jitsu. I'm gonna get back there. Because that's gonna help the blood flow through my system and rejuvenate the brother. You don't get rejuvenated by looking at Netflix all day. You don't get your limbs back movement about just reminiscing about the good old days. You make today good. If you make it good, you gotta make it great. But if you think your days are gone, they are. Because as a man thinking so, what do you think about? What do you think you can be while you still breathing? Yeah. I ain't say put no pads on, go play contact football. That's like being crazy right
You must got a Red Bull because you keep picking up something, putting it in your mouth. What's
What's that?
that you drinking? What's that you drinking? Red Bull?
No, it's green. Oh, it's Arizona green tea.
Oh, green tea. Okay.
Green tea. All right, fellas. Let me see if Lee said something else. Okay, Lee said something else. He said, "Okay, this is update." He says, "My left." He says, "My left is not moving." Okay, come on now. I'm not trying to. Okay, my left is not moving. He preserved to keep going when your brother was trying to. I ain't gonna say it out loud. he, he might check something else. I just don't know what. I guess he must be doing it on his phone. That's why he
What?
said he can't figure it out. Lee's trying to. I said, Lee, just click the link on a.
Oh,
But he's trying to. But that's what it is. My left not moving. Oh yeah, he deserved to keep going when your brother was okay. The arm, they said it would. Ah, it's segmented. I think he's trying to say that they say one thing, but he perseveres to see another. Yeah. Now I give a better update when I go see him this week. All right, any last words, yeah, brother. This was good.
to God be the glory.
Yashia Amashaya.
No words, but good night, brothers. Y'all be blessed. I'm struggling. It's after 12 o'clock. Past my bedtime, and I need all the beauty sleep I can get.
Because you gotta get up and go to work tomorrow, right?
Huh?
Exactly.
I have to take my baby to school in the morning.
And then you'll go right to bed.
No, that's not going back to bed. It's taking a nap in my recliner, sir.
What'd you say?
It won't be going back to bed. It'll be taking a nap in my recliner, sir.
Oh, it's just, let me see. Let's see.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
leaning back, huh? Okay.
leaning back.
I got no problem. All right, Tina, man. I
Uh,
appreciate your feedback.
all right, no
Uh,
problem. Y'all have a good night.
yes, sir.
Oh, I don't know if I'll be able to be on next week.
Okay.
I should be traveling. I'm going down to Mobile, Alabama. So I don't know if I'll be there by then or what.
Uh,
But uh, if I'm not on, I might be able to listen in. But I probably wouldn't be able to participate
okay.
unless, unless I can figure something out.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right.
man. All right.
All
Bye.
right. All right.
Good
Bye.
night. God
All right.
bless. Your eyes
Good night.
on Jesus.
All right. That you just woke up. Okay.
Focus on the Lord.
Yes. Yes.
Jesus Christ is God. Worship Him.
What? No. I'm gonna have to call you offline. Oh man. Oh man. Yeah. Lee just gave us the news. Okay.
Have a good night.
I too,
God
man.
bless.
Bless. Okay, journeyman, journeywoman. This is the Air Journey with Dr. D. Thank you for coming and sharing with me on the live as well as the replay. And if you find any value in this content, how about you help me help you so we can help others by clicking subscribe, commenting, and sharing. Why? Um, because when you do that, you organically help build with me and grow with me so we make it better tomorrow, today. Um, and remember this. Every day you get a vertical, make it your goal in life to always move forward and never look back. Why? Because life is just too short to live Look in the rearview mirror. And if you don't persevere to move, you'll stop. And you won't go anywhere. You'll stop and you won't go anywhere. So keep on moving. Let God guide you. And everything be all good. You look to your left or your right, and you see Purpose in the Videos, Guided Meditation, and my new segment, In Them Streets. Look, need anything further, go down below, comment section, heroseats.org. Give me a call. Let's talk and see what we can do to help you get beyond your first move. Peace and blessing. This is Hero's Journey with Dr. D. Here we are. Ow!